Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. My name is Josh. I sell used books, CDs, and DVDs online on platforms like eBay and Amazon. That's what I do full time to support my family. I want to show you guys real quickly the shipping supplies I use. Also, I just want to show you kind of this office where I ship everything out of. We're on track this year to ship out approximately $225,000 worth of product out of the office this year. We are looking to move potentially in the next month or so, so I kind of wanted to document this space one last time for myself and for the channel and everything. But yeah, I want to show you the space, show you what is possible in a small space, things are going through here, and also show you what else shipping supplies I do keep on hand because I get questions about that all the time. And this would be a great video just to show people, just to reference that. So I'm going to show you this whole space. I don't even know if I've done a video on the whole space, but we're going to show you this whole space, how things flow through here. A lot of stuff that goes to Amazon everything that goes to Amazon goes through here. Everything that goes to eBay goes through here twice. We will talk about that. Yeah, so I'm just going to get into it. Also, oh wait, real quick. All these products I have links to down in the description. Some of those are affiliate links where I get a little bit of kickback, and some things do have discount codes that are in the description as well. So check out those links, check out those codes. They'll help you, help the channel out, help me where I can keep making these videos. Let's go. All right, so here's all the space. This is honestly a glorified laundry room that I'm using as an office, and we're moving probably about $225,000 worth of product through this year. But anyways, over here, washer and dryer. This is a desk basically for me that gets a lot of space. All of my shipping gets done on this surface. Also, anytime I am researching books, they get put on here to get researched. Everything comes through here. Every time it's coming into this space, it gets put on here first when it's being researched, and it gets put on here whenever I am ready to start packaging it up. This is its kind of first landing zone anytime something is coming through the space. When stuff is coming through the space, it goes in a U shape every single time, and that's the way that it always works. Things flow through here, that way things are not getting jammed up. So a lot of great empty space. I keep this cleared off as much as possible. Use it so much. Here's the computer. I got it on Amazon right now. I should probably close that out. So here is the computer where I work. I do not use this desk much for putting things on. These two drawers, I keep, not even drawers, these baskets, 3 of them. This is where stuff is ready for me to build Amazon shipments. These are all just books, CDs, and DVDs that I know are ready for Amazon. I just need to put them into go-to lister and go. This kind of they went from here, I decided they go to Amazon, and then they get put into the box and they stop there until I can make an Amazon shipment. Up on the desk, I do have my packing paper. I get this from Supply Hut, I believe. This is 18-inch wide paper. Love this, use it all the time. It's fairly cheap for what you get. Up here on this chain that has a piece of PVC in it, I have 2 rolls of bubble wrap that I get from American Bubble Boy. I have some of the small bubble and the medium bubble. I use these both a lot. The medium bubble does a lot better job protecting things. The small bubble does a really good job. When something needs just a little bit of protection, or you're wanting to just give the buyer some confidence that the item was packed well, I will use that sometimes. So one of the most common things I'm using the small bubble for is CDs. Anytime I got a CD, what I'm going to do to ship it out is I'm going to take 1 foot of this bubble wrap, which is perforated right here. I'm going to tear that off, wrap it around the CD, and then put it in a bubble mailer. That's what the majority of that gets used for. The medium bubble wrap actually does a great job of protecting things. It's quite a bit more expensive, and honestly, there's not a lot of things that I ship out anymore that takes the medium bubble. The majority of things being listed in my store nowadays do not use medium bubble. Here is my printer we got. This is a Jaden's printer. I had a Rollo previously, and I was actually using the Rollo and the Jaden's at the same time, but my Rollo has quit working after gosh, I probably had that thing 5-6 years. Printed thousands and thousands and thousands of labels. Finally gave up. The Jaden's is going good. I use these 4x6 labels. These are the normal shipping size labels, and also these 1x2 labels for Amazon. They both fit in here just fine. Open up the printer. You can adjust this little guide here for the different size labels. I was using my Rollo and this so that I didn't have to switch out the labels. But you know what? The Rollo quit. I do need to get a second printer, get a backup. That's why I originally got the Jadens, was I wanted a backup for the Rollo. Then the Rollo quit. So I do need to get another backup right now, but I'm still very happy with that. I do have the laser printer over here. We use that a lot for personal things. And also every now and then I have to print something out on a full sheet of paper for the business. But that is really the kind of the computer setup here. Over here, we do have the second monitor that's sitting on the great monitor stand. I would like to have more space on this desk to have the monitor side by side, but it's just not going to happen in this space. I've tried it out with a few different setups. It just does not work. Behind this monitor are some boxes that I use infrequently. These are things I might be using once a day at most. Like a lot of days I don't even grab a box from back here. Some days I'm grabbing several of them out, just depending on what's going on. But this stuff gets used more infrequently. Let me show you what those boxes are. I pulled one of each of them out. First up, 20 by 14 by 6. This is for like VCRs, that sort of thing. Not a lot of that currently going into my store, but I do keep this on hand. It helps get me out of a pinch every once in a while. Next up is a small sized box from one of the like big stores, either Walmart or Lowe's. I used to do a lot more of the Lowe's, which were 16 by 12 by 12. I have recently switched to mostly buying the Walmarts for two reasons. Number one, they're cheaper. The Walmart boxes here are $1 and the Lowe's boxes are like $1.25. Also, the Walmart boxes, like DVDs just fit in them like so much nicer. If you've used them, you know what I'm talking about. Like DVDs fit in them so nicely. Also, next up, I got 12 by 12 by 12. A lot of book lots and similar things like that go into these. I then have some Gemini comic mailers. I have these more on hand because I used to sell a lot of comics. I do not anymore. These fold, see if I can do this one-handed, out like this. You can then put the book or comic or magazine in there, fold them up. They're really nice. A bit more expensive. I will sometimes, like more expensive books, I will use these for from time to time if I'm wanting to give it some additional protection. Do not use them very often. We also have your standard record mailer. Use these for records. When I sell records, not selling near as many as I used to, but we do still sell them. And then some 10 by 8 by 6 boxes. Use this all the time. It's a great size box. Small book lots, CD lots, DVD lots. They work great in those. So, but those are the things that I'm not using every day. I even have some priority mail boxes back here in case I happen to sell something on Poshmark, which happens once every couple months. Next up is we've got this little kind of shelving unit area. This is where I keep the supplies that I am using constantly. And depending on where it is, basically how often I'm using it is I'm keeping it closer at hand. This is my most used bubble mailer. And so we are keeping it closest at hand here. I can't remember what size this is off the top of my head, but I use it all the time. Majority of my books are going in this bubble mailer. Some books I will add a scrap of cardboard to. I keep scrap cardboard up here, wrap it around there, if it just needs that extra rigidity. Underneath those mailers, I do have some 6 by 4 by 4 boxes. It's a small box that I use very commonly for small sewing machine parts and different things like that. Over here to the left, that's harder to access. On top, we have poly bags. I have my 10 by 13s, and then I have two other sizes that I keep on hand as well. I wrote down those sizes so I can tell you those. 10 by 13, 12 by 15 and a half, and 19 by 24. Those are the three sizes I keep on hand. The size I use the most is on top, where it's easier to access, and the others are below that. Also, I like to use the different colors because it's really easy to see like where the next size poly bags are. If these were all the same colors, it would not be easy to see like where one size begins and the next one ends. But I can just glance and say, oh, the next size is there, the next size is there. Quickly grab them, super duper easy. I get all my bubble mailers and poly bags from Gyropack. Absolutely love them. There's a link in the description and a code for like 10% off. Here are more bubble mailers. This is my next most commonly used size. All my CDs go into these. They do have a piece of bubble wrap added to them. All DVDs go in these as they are. A lot of my small sewing machine parts will go into these purple ones. But yeah, we got those. Over here, we've got the bigger black ones. This is like your bigger books, like yearbook or textbook size books fit in these real nicely. Love keeping these on hand, use multiple of them every day. And underneath we have our 8x6x4 boxes. That's like your standard hat size box. Works good for a lot of other things though. Small DVD lots, small CD lots can go in those as well. Moving over here, we've got some other supplies. Vistaprint, I keep my business cards on hand. I just restocked my wallet because I was out. Needed to hand some out, didn't have any in my wallet, so I just restocked. These are like these little flats for eBay standard envelope. If I'm selling like photographs or something like that, I do not have to restock these very often because I don't use a ton of them, but I do keep them on hand. And I keep 2 sizes of tape on hand. This is the 2-inch tape from My Go-To Tape and the 3-inch tape from My Go-To Tape. Same company as American Bubble Boy. I like their tape. I think it's great. I keep the 2-inch in this like desktop thing right here. And usually if I'm like putting some tape on some bubble wrap or something like that, just needs a little tiny piece of tape, that's usually what I'm grabbing the 2-inch for. This usually isn't on my desk. Usually this is my daughter's room, but made its way back to my desk today, so that was interesting to see come back. Up above here, this is where I keep like random dunnage or random bubble wrap. A friend just gave me that roll of bubble wrap. Random supplies, like we ordered something off from eBay and somebody had this in there, and I'm just going to reuse that supplies in order to save this roll over here. So anything like that gets thrown up here so that it's easily for me to see and I can use it right away. Over here are my 2 tape guns. If I am shipping, I will bring the 3-inch one out and put it on the table. The 2-inch tape gun does not get used very often. It usually just sits there, left over from the days when I used 2-inch tape. But the 3-inch tape gets used all the time. This is a box resizer. I do not use this as often as I used to. When I was selling everything and I was having to resize boxes frequently, that came in very, very handy. Not using it as much anymore since we're selling mostly just media in the store, but it is still there. Also, we'll talk about this while we are getting to it. This is my disc resurfacer. This is an Elm AutoSmart. It's actually a senior, but it's the same thing as the AutoSmart. So what this does is I can actually put a disc in here and it will bring it back to an absolutely great surface. So I keep all the supplies for it right here with it. We've got to have water with it. We've got to have compound. We've got to have the stuff to go in the water, and we've got pads back here in a Ziploc bag so I can get to them. What else we got over here? Got some duster cleaner. We've got our line coat glue. This is what I'm using if I'm making any like book repairs. Doesn't happen very often, but maybe once or twice a month we will make some book repairs. But yeah, this has been my office. Oh wait, here, we'll show this shelf. Why not? This shelf is where I am just keeping random stuff that I need to deal with. Most of everything that is on these shelves should have already been priced. When stuff is coming into my office, it comes here. It will set here as I am like sorting it out. We will come to the computer to price it, and then it goes over to the shelf here to be then photographed and then put into bins or wherever it needs to go out. Everything that's on the floor right here, this is all stuff that has been listed and is ready to go to the storage unit. So that's what's going on with everything here. Everything on the shelf still needs photos and listings done, but it's all priced, which is nice. But yeah, this has been my office. Oh, scale. We missed the scale. I'm still using this Accutech scale from when we very first started. This thing is old. Absolutely love it. A lot of people like the one that has the actual extra screen off to the side, but honestly, even if like the screen is covered up and I can't see it, I can just press this button on the side, the hold button, and I can take the item off and look at whatever the weight is. So I'm still using the super cheap Accutech scale. I probably need to get a backup, because if this thing breaks, it's going to be a bad day for me. I'm going to have to run to Walmart and try to find another scale and probably overpay for one. But honestly, that's not too of a bad situation to be in. If I can just run to Walmart and grab one, do I really need a second one on hand? I Can't run to Walmart and get a second one of these, so I probably do need to get a second one of these on hand. That, I don't even know if I need a second one because I can run to Walmart and be up and running in less than an hour. So there's no reason to have a second one sitting around taking up space. Oh, down here, I keep like random boxes typically. Like if we get any Amazon boxes that I'm reusing, I don't reuse a lot of boxes, but probably like 2 to 3 times a week we are reusing some random boxes. So I usually have some over here, also some random priority mail boxes. And this is where the drain for the AutoSmart goes. I really wish there was a better solution to this, but I do not have one. But anyways, this has been my office. All the shipping supplies I'm needing to use for eBay. I used to sell a lot of everything. Now we're selling mostly just media, which makes the bubble mailers a huge part of this. Boxes are way less of a concern than I used to have. Like, the amount of money I spend on shipping supplies now as compared to like 6-12 months ago is absolutely ridiculous. Like, I spend so much less on shipping supplies. Part of that is also because I'm doing a lot more Amazon, sending stuff off to Amazon in a $1 box. And so like, I'm not putting like 50, 60 items in there. Like, shipping supply cost per item is way lower than it used to be, which I really, really enjoy. Anyway, planning on moving this office soon if we end up buying this next house, but wish me luck. I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.